This economy is hitting everybody hard. We've talked about the silver tsunami that's coming, where the seniors are about to get hit with the homelessness issue. We've talked about the nursing crisis that's coming. Now let's talk about it from the parents' perspective, the parents of young children that have kids in the home. This is important in the whole grand scheme of everything that we talk about, because if it's getting way too expensive to have kids in your home, how are the people that have kids and then elderly parents going to help out the elderly parents when just having your own household is becoming too expensive? So this says parents could spend $26,000 to care for one kid, uno kid this year. This is from the Business Insider. Business Insider estimated the cost to care for one child in the U.S. in 2024 will be at least $25,000. It looks like it's close to $26,000. That's a 41.5% increase since 2016, and the cost will likely go up this year. The main two drivers for the jump in cost are childcare, transportation, and food. I can attest it is getting expensive. And these kids eat every day, several times a day. If you're wondering how much of your salary will go towards raising your kid this year, or how much you'll save by not having one, we did the math for you. Y'all, if you are currently child-free, you kind of need to wait this one out because it is challenging out there. All right. Accounting for expenses like rent, food, apparel, transportation, childcare, and health insurance premiums, Business Insider estimated it will cost about $25,714 to care for one small child this year. To calculate this number, Business Insider started with a lending tree analysis of the average annual essential cost for children, which used data from 2021, and it's more expensive than 2021, the latest year for which complete data was available. Then, to get a rough estimate for where those costs are going, we adjusted them to account for the last 2 years of consumer price inflation to get a figure for 2023. Inflation has moderated a lot from a high of 8.9% year over year in June 2022 and is back down 3.1% as of November 2023. But we did not presume to predict what will happen in 2024. The $25,714 figure estimated for 2023 is a 19% increase from Lending Tree's estimates for 2021 and a 42% jump from 2016. And depending on what inflation looks like over the next year, it could be even more. Not go down, be more. The estimate also factors in federal tax credit parents receive for having dependents. In 2021, Lending Tree estimates parents were saving $3,600 annually on their taxes, an increase of $2,600 from 2016. To determine this national average, Lending Tree assumes parents' tax returns were filed jointly with a total income of $85,000, the national median among families in 2021. Notably, 2021 featured the more generous tax child credit passed as a part of the American Rescue Plan. We instead factored in the current $2,000 per child tax credit for 2023. If you carry this cost forward until a baby born this year is the age of 18, that's almost $500,000, $462,852 in today's dollars. You might as well round up and say $500,000. The main expenses for raising a kid are childcare, transportation, and food. Since the pandemic, we've seen the prices of gas and food rise dramatically due to supply chain disruptions, wars, and climate crises. Parents could expect to spend over $3,500 on food last year, a 45% increase from 2016. Transportation can also leave a dent in parents' wallets, totaling over $6,500 last year, a 312% increase from 2016's estimate of just under $1,600. A gallon of gas was $2.58 in December of 2019 and $3.12 in December of 2023, according to AAA. The economy is still finding its footing after the chaos wreaked by COVID-19 and impacting parents' wallets along the way, especially single parents, wrote Jamie Catanach, the author of the Lending Tree Analysis. In addition, family health insurance premiums have gone up 10% since 2016 compared to a single person, to an average of $3,166 according to our calculations based on Lending Tree and KFF numbers. But the largest cost of raising a kid by far is childcare, which we estimated to be an average annual cost of close to $13,000, 17% higher than 2016. Now, there are 12 months in a year, so that means that childcare is about a little over $1,000 a month. The childcare crisis came to a tipping point in September 2023 when nearly $24 billion in federal funds that helped childcare services afloat expired. Much of the funding was used to increase pay for employees at childcare centers, and without it, childcare providers will either have to raise prices and hope their customers don't bail, or cut employees' pay and hope they don't quit. The rising cost of raising a child could be one of the factors deterring U.S. adults from creating families. About 44% of non-parents between the ages of 18 and 44 said they weren't likely to have kids in the future, up 7% from 2018, according to a Pew Research Center study that was published in November. The birth rate will continue to tumble off a cliff for many, many reasons. Cost of childcare, the Republican assault on women's reproductive choices, the education system crumbling, the medical system crumbling. There are so many reasons why the birth rate will continue to plummet. And when those numbers come available, I will definitely be making a video on it. Y'all jump in the comments. Child-free people, are you still you good? I'm sure you're good over there. Parents, are you okay? Are you okay? I know how it is. I know, because I'm a mom over here. All right, jump in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. So I came across this other parenting article from Business Insider. This woman is talking about having kids at a later date. It piqued my interest because I too had kids later in life. She says, I had my kids at 38 and 41. I had time to figure out my life, but I also worry about them having old parents. Let's talk about it. Okay, so the bullet points on this: she had kids when she was 38 and 41. She says she started to take self-care more seriously, and it can be hard to connect to younger parents. And she said, I'm glad I had my kids at the age I did. I'm more confident than I was when I was younger. All right, let's flesh out these bullet points. Okay, she says, I had my first child at 38 and the second at 41. I never thought I'd be an older parent, but the world had other plans, namely grad school, an intense career, and the demise of a long-term relationship, which took me a while to recover. And while I was thrilled to finally become a mom, I was also nervous about the stigma that can come with doing it when you're older. I was right to worry, as plenty of cringeworthy moments have resulted from my advanced parenting age, like when I had the label geriatric pregnancy stamped right in the middle of my medical file. Can we get a term change also? What I didn't anticipate, though, was that there are also many benefits to having children later in life. Being an older parent, it turns out, is one long, beautiful roller coaster ride filled with both ups and downs. Here are some of the most important truths that I've learned along the way. I take self-care more seriously. Having kids at an early age has forced me to get serious about taking care of myself, not just for my benefit, but also for that of my children. My kids' most active years are still ahead of them, so I want to ensure mine are too. Amen, sister. Amen. I completely agree with that. I work out nearly every day because of that. When I started to look at things this way, Pilates class began to seem essential rather than something that I could skip, even if I'm feeling lazy or pressed for time. Eating well, getting enough sleep, yes, and taking care of my mental health have become decisions not just about how I'll feel the next day or the next week, but whether I'll be around to meet my grandchildren. Absolutely. It's harder to connect with younger parents. Usually, when I talk to other parents at the playground or school drop off, they turned out to be much younger. This can cause a disconnect because while our kids may be the same age, we're often in two very different places when it comes to other things like career stage, taking care of aging parents, or our general outlook on life, which it turns out is very different in your 40s than it is in your 20s. The close mom friends I've made are usually also on the older side and, like me, are not quick to broadcast their age, but somehow we've been able to recognize each other as part of the same secret society of older parents. It could just be the gray hairs. I'll always be a little insecure about my age. I'm not. I'm 43, y'all. 43, but I'm not insecure. Society wants to make us insecure, but I will not be insecure about living one more day on this earth. I'm just putting that out there. Aging is hard enough. No, it's not. It's not hard. Once you stop worrying about society, it's really not that hard. Okay, I'm sorry. Back to the. She says, aging is hard enough, but I didn't expect one of my worries to be whether my kids would be singled out as the ones with the old parents. Worrying about this has definitely sent me running to my dermatologist for Botox and fillers earlier and more often than I likely otherwise would have. Nope, I'm not worried about no Botox. Okay, just putting that out there too. I also often find myself editing the way I talk around other younger parents. No need to mention how I got my first Hotmail account in high school or that I remember when Lollapalooza started for the first time. However, with age has come confidence. After plenty of ups and downs in my 20s and early 30s, I'm now confident about who I am in the way I wasn't in my younger years. I'm grateful to have had the time to figure out what I wanted my life to look like before I became responsible for someone else's. I can't imagine anything harder than raising a child while trying to figure out what kind of adult you want to be. I feel lucky my children didn't have to bear witness as I learned the basic lessons of adult life, like how to be financially secure, forge a professional identity, and fold a fitted sheet. Actually, scratch that last one. I'm still struggling. Same. They will only ever know me as someone who is able to take care of them because I already learned how to take care of myself. While I sometimes wonder what my life would have been if I'd had children when I was younger, I honestly wouldn't change a thing because although being an older parent can be a mixed bag, it's one I'm very grateful to have been handed. Now, this video is not to be like pitting young moms against older moms. That is absolutely not it. When you make the decision, or if you even make the decision to have children, just own that decision and it's perfectly fine. You're doing what's best for yourself. I absolutely agree that having children for myself as an older parent has been good because I definitely have more patience. I was able to know myself, have a lifestyle that I had pinpointed and could still actively have with children. And life has been good. I was able to do everything that I wanted to in my 20s. And then having kids in my 30s has been amazing. So I do want to hear from y'all. Are you wanting kids? Are you child free? Did you have kids early? Did you have kids later? Go ahead and let me know in the comments. And like I said, this is not meant to be a young mom versus older mom, young mom versus older mom debate. There, hopefully there's no, going back and forth, snapping on folks. But jump in the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, share.